Using Interwrite Touch software in your classroom. Basic training course. Creating shapes. There are two ways to create shapes in the Interwrite software program. The first is a freehand method called geometrics recognition. The second uses a preset number of 2D shapes. To use geometrics recognition, go to the word draw, find geometrics recognition. Your cursor turns into a little cross. You're then able to draw a freehand shape on the board and it will format that shape for you. If you need to adjust the size of these, just use that select object and tap on the outline. You'll see that cross that forms of the shape, and this blue border will form around. If you just want to make it bigger or smaller, pull on the white circle. If you want to actually adjust the type of triangle that you're dealing with, you can actually pull on these white squares, and that will enable you to alter the actual shape of that particular triangle. With the circle, it has the center point there which will remain constant, and you're able to make it larger or smaller. For 2D shapes, go down to the taskbar and there's your objects, the geometrics. If you click on the down arrow, it'll bring up a variety of different shapes for you to select from. You can select the one that you want to use. Now if you want to fill them in with color, if you go down to these boxes that are here, the first color will be your outline, and the second color, if you go back once again, is going to be your fill. You also can adjust the thickness of the outline by going to the pen width and selecting one of the sizes that are here. I might leave it at that one, and then we can just click and drag that shape onto the screen. You still got the ability to manipulate it, and then when you let go it will remain. Now if you want to change this once again, use your select object to tap on the outline of the shape, and then you've got these white squares once again that you can use to manipulate and get it to the size that you want it to be. If you just want to make it bigger or smaller now, just pull on that white circle and that will allow you to do that. You may want to distort the shape slightly. With this particular shape that's here, I can make it bigger or smaller, but say I wanted to squish it up a bit, I can go to the down arrow and untick the box that says zoom. What this will allow me to do now is to manipulate this. Now you can see I can squish it up and distort it. If I go back and click the box next to zoom, all I can do now is make it bigger or smaller. So this keeps everything in proportion. You'll notice that when you use select object and tap on the item itself, you also get a green circle forming here at the top. This allows you to rotate things freehand. You've also got the ability, as I said, to move these using the white squares that are there as well. You also have this other down arrow, which is called an edit point. This allows you to do some formatting to this particular shape. You have your typical cut, copy, paste, which you're familiar with, but you've also got the word clone. If you click clone, it automatically gives you an exact replica of the first item. You've got the ability, if you want to lock things in place. You'll notice that now that border around the outside is red, and I'm not able to shift that particular object. If I click on the one next to it, you'll see that the border is blue, and I am able to shift that anywhere that I want. To unlock the item, just go to the down arrow and untick the box that says locked. I showed you how to rotate items using that little green circle, but if you need it to be specifically rotated 45 or 90 degrees or 180 degrees, then use the rotate feature, and we can rotate this counterclockwise, and you see that it will be perfect. I'm just going to undo that and bring it back. You've also got the ability to flip things, so if we wanted to flip things vertically, we can, or we can mirror things horizontally if we want to. So you've got a few different things that you can do to the shapes once they're on the screen. I showed you about cloning if you want just one of the object, but if you want a number, such as in this example here, what you would do initially is to create the first brick by going to the thickness, probably there, and we're going to have a black outline, and we're going to have this brick colored fill, and we're going to draw one of the bricks till we get it to the size that we want it to be. Once you're happy with that, use your select object to tap on the shape, and then go to the down arrow and hit the word copy, and then you can either go to the down arrow or go to the paste button that's here at the bottom of the screen and paste as many of those objects as you need onto the screen itself, and this will allow you then to manipulate them. Once again, use your rotation to rotate things to get them into shape. So if you want to know what the answer is, you need to turn the square into a circle. You can also do Venn diagrams using this particular set of shapes as well. To do this, I'm going to add a page, the page with a plus. So we have a blank page. I'm going to select the ellipse rather than the circle because it has the dot in the center, and I'm going to just change the color to a lighter color, and I'm going to change the transparency to about 60%. I'm actually going to leave that at black and change that, is what I wanted to change. And we can then drag a shape onto the screen. Now I can use my select object to tap on this and clone this so that I'll get an exact replica. If I want to, I can change the color of the fill for this particular one to another color. So therefore you'll be able to see the differences and the similarities fairly easily. Another thing you're able to do using the edit point is to group things together so that we're able to move this around together rather than as separate shapes. So if you use your select object, start outside the objects and drag a box, several boxes over each of those two shapes. Go to any of the down arrows and go to the word group, and then group again, and now this is one whole thing. So if I need to, I can pull on that white circle and make this larger. I can then lock it in place so that it can't be shifted, and you can then use your pens to write whatever information you want sort of on each of those shapes. Thank you for viewing this tutorial. For further information, contact us by email info@eduss.com.au.